What's up, people? What's happening? What's happening? What's happening? Welcome to the Boom Boom Room. Hey, I am your host, Ron Slade. Without further ado, people, let me do this the right way. On the one way. My guy, it is he. It is him, the one and only Lauderdale County's own. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. The man himself. Unproven to some, 11 years say a little different. You know? So all I'm saying is let me bring my boy on. I know y'all done waited long enough. Let me get him out here. Hey.
Believe in me. Grieve for me, grieve for me. If I'm gone and carry on you're way stronger than you think. Ain't no safety if it ain't safe.
Ain't no safety if it ain't safe.
Come on, baby.
In the grass of your yard, they trying to pull your car. Show your hand.
Yeah, people. This is not a good goal, people. I'm gonna be real. I'm gonna be real.
Show them how the trigger working. So if you believe in me, prove it. Time coming, the time will come.
Hey man, let's get straight to it, man. Let's get straight to it.
Let's go, man. This should be good.
This should be, man. Let's see. Let's see, man. We got Ramon Foster in the house. We're gonna go through his journey, through the obstacles, touch on a couple of things that he had to overcome throughout his journey. 11 years in the league, hung it up this year, going into this season. See where he is mentally. And we're gonna let him tell his story, man. And the obstacles about his transition from high school, transition to college, transition to the league, all while flying under the radar in a sense. So Here we go. Lauderdale County's own Ramon Foster. What it do?
Here we go, man. And I like to even say even more. West 10, man. I
West
always mess
10.
with you or anybody else. I always tell them West 10 is the best 10.
That is. That
to
is.
me.
It sounds good, but we all know middle 10 is where they win. You know what I mean? It's just we're going to do a little rhyming thing. You know, hey.
And for both of us, East 10 is where it begins.
Hey, you see what I'm saying? You know what I mean? You can't stop this, you know? Real life, man.
Yes.
Hey, man. So let's dive straight into it, man. This platform we have here, Ramon, I try to use it for kids that's going through the same struggles or obstacles or trying to get on that same journey that we've been on, mostly about you right now. Trying to see, you know, what you had to go through. So let's start from the beginning, man. Tell me about your upbringing.
My upbringing. Oh, man. So it's twofold. The reason I say West 10 when I'm talking to somebody for the most part, other than if I'm being specific to a school, is because I was born in Memphis, raised in Covington, Tennessee, 805 Craig Street at my grandmama's house. That was the first house I knew that we lived in. With my mom in the projects. I didn't know it was a project. It just is what it is. It was just home for us. But yeah, we was in the project, 805 Craig Street, Covington, Tennessee. We moved from there around the third grade.
Okay.
To Henning, Tennessee.
Okay. In the home with Renardo Foster. We got to put the big dog. Yeah. The big dog, but the young dog, but the older dog, all wrapped in one.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I'm
shout out to
middle of y'all.
Yeah.
But no, I'm after y'all too, but y'all just tag team me all the time. That's terrible, man.
So no. So you coming in the house single parent on?
Single parent home early on. When we moved from Covington, from my grandmama's house to Henning, Tennessee, out in the country, by the way.
Right.
Okay. To me, Covington was the city limits. Okay. Like everything that was going on was around in the city. When I say we moved from the city, which Covington is a small city, to the country, it was literally the country. Right. Okay. Like at the time, we stayed in a single wide trailer, man, which is cool. Nothing wrong with it at all. And to be honest with you, it was kind of cool going from living in the projects in a brick house, red brick house.
Yeah.
White brick walls on the inside. We had the lone heater in the hallway that heated the house. Window AC units.
Right.
Who moving into a trailer out in the country. We stayed in the trailer. There was a cornfield usually every year on the right side of us. In front of us was a cotton field. Next to us was my stepdad's, Michael. His brother's house was to the side of us. And on the other side of him was a soybean field.
My boy out there in the fields.
Yes,
real life fields.
Like real life fields. Like the reason I'm excited to talk to you about my journey is because a lot of people think like being successful or making it to the NFL at least just happens. And I think when they see us in a position to where we are where we are, a lot of people understand like we all come from different places.
Right.
My place was very unique to me, and it hardened me. It pushed me. It made me want more. Just being real. After I realized there was more.
Right.
But in our house was me, Renardo, my sister Jamaica, who's younger than me, and then my youngest brother, LaMichael. It was my mom and my stepdad, Michael, who was in our house for the majority, from the 3rd grade all the way up through high school.
Tough.
Yeah. 6 people household.
That's it. In the double wide trailer.
We ended up moving to the double wide my end of my 5th grade year going into 6th grade.
So hold on, man. Y'all didn't even start coming through in the double wide. Y'all just now, y'all advanced, moved on up out the cotton fields into the double wide.
We did, man, and let me tell you, moving from a single wide to a double wide might not have been any difference as far as square footage.
Right.
But it was new.
Yeah.
And it was better than what we had. It seemed bigger anyway. And to me, I absolutely loved it, man, because I've always strived for wanting better, out of life anyway.
Right.
Yeah.
So we got real quick before we go any further. We got a lot of people joining in, man. We got Nardo. Nardo just dropped an 842 Barry Morrow Road. Come on, Nardo, drop the gems on him, man.
By the way, that spot, that plot of land ain't even there no more. Well, the land is, our trailer isn't. I think Nardo might can confirm it. He probably can confirm it, but our trailer got repossessed. I think it was either end of my freshman year or beginning of my sophomore year.
Wow.
Going in the summer, I think.
Wow.
So we moved back. It was my mom and stepdad had separated, number one. And she moved into her own place.
Right.
And the house that I had grown up in was gone. And you know what was the craziest thing about the house being gone?
What?
And I'll explain about like going into college was I was ready to go. We'll work through high school first.
Right.
But the thing about it, the biggest thing that I missed about that house being repossessed, being gone was under my bed at this house was I had a bunch of pictures from like prom and just homeboy pictures and just like pictures.
Yeah, some great memories in there.
Yes. So I lost them and I lost all of my recruiting letters.
That's tough.
Everything about it, but I didn't cry about it. It was one of those things like, dang, I wish I had those still. But at the time, I was like, okay, move,
I got it.
I got it. But nothing I can do. That's my kind of MO a little bit. If I can control it, I will. But if I can't do nothing about it, I move on from it. That was one of those situations where I was hoping somebody had pulled him out of the trailer.
Right. Somebody saved him.
And I played ball in Ripley. West Tennessee, I guess people probably knew me for playing ball, but they probably looked at that like this is just merchandise to us.
Right.
Throw this away and keep the trailer.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
There's some fond memories in that. So okay, well let's go straight on up to middle school before going into high school.
Yeah.
7th, 8th grade. Where'd you attend school?
Lauderdale Middle School.
Lauderdale. So wait a minute. So when we come bouncing through the club, they throwing up the L's for Lauderdale?
Absolutely.
Okay.
My brother-in-law Josh can tell you about that even more, considering he went to school at UT Martin.
Right. Shout out to Josh. Salute.
Shout out to Josh.
Yeah.
He said anytime there was a party, there was so many Lauderdale County people, and they be in the party throwing up Lauderdale, throwing up their L's. He know I ain't lying.
That's wild, man. Hey, okay. So what was your this was 7th, 8th grade. This was when? 90.
This was 97, 98.
97, 98. Okay, so
high school in 2000 was my first year in high school.
Okay, so you walking into middle school, stature huge, you 6'5", 2 something. You know what I mean? You coming through, you looking down. Nardo already done. Now let's talk about that relationship just a little bit first.
Yeah.
Had Nardo already laid the foundation of what it was supposed to be coming through Lauderdale Middle?
He did.
Mm-hmm.
He did.
Okay.
Nardo, man, to me was and still is my. I know you're watching right now, but I'm not saying this. I said this a dozen million different times.
Right.
Nardo was the guy that I chased.
Right.
Then what's funny, I don't know if a lot of people know, but you and I are actual brothers.
Mm-hmm.
Blood brothers, same dad, different household, same dad.
Mm-hmm.
And when I found out about you, I knew about you, but then I started to see you was there was a lot of stuff that I did in the 8th grade when we get to that point, which would be maybe your freshman year here at UT.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff that you did then that I was trying to do, or one of the things that happened with me was, like you said, Nardo paved the way. Mm-hmm. One of the things, and I was telling Keisha about this the other day, was one of the things that happen, you know, when you have kids, you want to protect your kids.
Right.
And I never forget, Nardo wanted to play football before I was even in school, and my mama wouldn't let him. She would not let him. Big kid, all that didn't matter. She didn't want to let him.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of it to my grandma in a sense, because she the one that told my mom, I never forget, because she told us, girl, let them boys play football.
Yeah.
So shout out to my grandmother, man, rest in peace, Ramon Foster, man. She's the one that pushed my mom, was like, why you know, let them boys play football.
Yeah.
And it turned out, now you can see for the best for us, but going into that though, so I got a chance to play in like I tried out my 6th grade, the spring of my 6th grade year, going into the 7th grade year. We didn't have park ball like I'm sure like y'all did.
Right.
So we had middle school ball, it's just school ball. And you want to hear something funny about the tryout that I had?
Please tell me.
So
what is this 7th? What is this? 6th grade.
Spring of 6th grade year, end of the year, they had tryouts.
Okay.
You want to know what my silly behind went out to practice with?
Pretty please tell me.
I went out there with a Gatorade bottle because I needed to be hydrated. But we didn't have no money to buy another Gatorade.
Yeah.
And I never forget, it was a teacher at the time, Miss Qualls. She said, what you got in that bottle? Guess what was in the bottle?
What, man?
Red Kool-Aid.
Hey, come on, man. This man want the Kool-Aid going out there. He talking about hydrating.
Oh, man, I would have locked up.
You trying to get a sugar kick. Quick, little sugar rush.
The funniest thing was, I didn't even drink it because it was so hot. So I couldn't even drink it. So I just had to drink from the water.
No lie. That big Kool-Aid smile and everything with the Kool-Aid.
No lie, I was nervous as hell trying to try out for football, because I don't think people understand. Every year for me is like it's a new year.
Right.
No matter how much hitting you did, to me that was my first time hitting, and it was nervous to me. Like I was like antsy, a little bit of like scared and timid, because I don't know. Like I'm big, but you don't really know your size like that because you ain't never put up against nobody.
Right. Right. Right.
It was I made the team, of course, but yeah. That was my first experience.
Okay, so we go past that. You got your first experience in 6th grade.
Yeah.
You out there with the Kool-Aid, you know what I mean? With so foolish.
In the Gatorade bottle.
In the Gatorade bottle. So you were smart enough to mask it though. So that clever is in you. That's cool. We'll move on from that. So we get to 7th, 8th grade, Lauderdale Middle School. At this time, when you get to middle school, Nardo's already in high school?
Nardo went to high school when I went to 7th grade. He was in 9th grade.
Okay, so he 2 years ahead of you.
2 years ahead of me. And no lie, I was ready for Nardo to leave because I was always Foster little brother.
Yeah. Here come Little Foster or something, yeah.
Little Foster. That's exactly what they Little Foster. I was like, and what's so cool about going from 6th grade to 7th grade year, it was the first year I really hit like I guess you would say I hit puberty and I hit growth spurt.
Mm-hmm.
I grew like big time. My stepdad was is 6'3". I think I was around 6'2"-ish in like the 7th grade.
Right.
I think I was easy 6'2", 6'3" in the 7th grade.
Okay, you just answered Mike Greer's question. How much older is Nardo? 2 years older. There you go. So the funny thing is,
look at Brooks talking about milk.
And now I was gonna ask you, Moan, what was your stature like when you was coming in? Were you a chubby kid? You know what I mean? Because I got info through the grapevine that said, you know, they used to call you Big Milk.
They did. They did.
And Nardo said, I mean, I'm gonna go and get my salsa right. You know what I mean? Milk was doing your body too good.
It was. I always was a husky kid, man. Nardo's forever been small.
Yeah.
Okay? Listen to Nardo.
Hey, first of all, I'm slick pissed. Now, all you viewers, granted, now we all brothers, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Same father. Nardo ain't never let this out, but I hit him up before this.
Because he knew it used to piss me off, though. I hated that. I hated it.
Hey, see, I told my man, hey man, come on, dog. Give me something that I don't know from the childhood, man. And he hit me with the milk, man. That's really cold though.
It is, but I hated it because I was like, I gotta shake this weight.
Yeah.
I gotta drop it.
Yeah.
Right. No lie, like I slimmed up. I see if I can find it. Okay. I had a picture of me like in like 7th grade.
Mm-hmm.
I dropped down.
Wow.
I wasn't as fast as I wanted to be, and 2, I wanted to catch up with Nardo.
Right.
Point blank period.
Right. And see what we're gonna have to do, people. We have to do a combined effort in the Boom Boom Room and put the brothers and see what kind of perspective it all came from us growing up. You know what I mean? All different perspectives. But we'll read. Auntie Twyla's on. What's up, Auntie? Can you send me that shirt, Lil Ron? And thank you. See, she called me Lil Ron. You like her, Auntie? You know what I mean? Just a little Ron. You know, okay. We're going to see what we can do with that. We're going to put them in production. All right, so how was your middle school? How was the transition in middle school? You coming into your own, Nardo's gone?
I'm going to be real. For a while, I thought my middle school years was probably some of my most fun years.
Mm-hmm.
For a lot of different reasons. One, I grew up and I had like 2 years of not being in Nardo's shadow, which is cool. I loved it, but it was one of the things where we'll get into later. I'm glad Nardo didn't ask me to come to Louisville. Like I always like to explore like who I was and not having Nardo around. Like the thing was, Nardo's playing football in high school.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I was focusing on really
right.
in middle school was basketball.
Right.
I wanted to play ball. Simply because it was my thing. It's that second child thing, I think.
Right.
To me, it was that second child thing. I was in the beta club. I wanted to make better grades than Nardo. I made the beta club.
Heavy.
93 plus average.
Heavy.
Nardo didn't play basketball in middle school. I wanted to play basketball because he wasn't playing basketball.
Right.
Then I grew taller, and we had a very cold team.
Mm-hmm.
We had a solid team, 7th grade and 8th grade. 7th grade, I was playing. We had some older guys on the team. Anthony Barbie, rest in peace, man. Very solid dude, man. His squad, his guys, man, really led the way for us coming in behind because my 7th grade year we did really well. Going into 8th grade,
Right.
our best team was cold.
Yeah.
Was really good. And not only that, I had a brother playing at UT.
Right. Right.
And that was him. That was you.
Yeah.
I always had like the spurts of like chasing people.
Mm-hmm.
Nardo and you, for the most part, just being completely honest with you, and just a lot of it, especially in the sports aspect. I always did my thing, but I had that hidden agenda of like trying to do more. Even my wife says it to this day. If she do something, if let's say she cooks something,
yeah,
I go right behind and try to cook it.
You got to one up. You got to one up. You got to one up.
I don't think I'm aggravating with it. Maybe I am, but it's the competitive side of it.
What's up, Bob?
Yes.
Hey, so okay, before we go any further with that, let me touch on that for a second. Being the youngest and having older brothers or even not brothers, someone that you can reach out and touch and use them as motivation to get to the level that you're trying to get to.
Yeah.
What was that like? Was that added pressure on, or was that only for you, or did the public know? Like, did your mom know that you was trying to, I can tell that boy trying to chase, he trying to chase Nardo, you know what I mean? Look at him, trying to be like Ron out there on the court. Was any of that, or was that all in your head?
It was all in my head, I think. For a very good reason, though.
Right.
I wanted to chase and do better simply because it was right in front of me.
Mm-hmm.
That's the reason I think people fall in love with like athletes and like public figures like that, because you see them.
Right.
When you relate to them like that, then it becomes something that, for me, it became attainable. Mm-hmm. I mimicked a lot of stuff that Nardo did. I mimicked a lot of stuff that you did. Mm-hmm. For real, in the 8th grade, I think I might have grew up to like 6'4" in the 8th grade.
Yeah.
I knew my dad was tall. Ronald Holland, shout out to him.
Big Ron.
And my
mom, you out there watching somewhere.
Yeah, he got to be watching if he ain't at work. My mom was 5'11" and a half.
Mm-hmm.
And I knew Nardo was tall. Heck, you was already at UT playing, and I was thinking I was going to edge Nardo out in height. I'm competing in that.
Yeah.
And I still compete with you about height to this day.
Yes, we do. Day in and day out.
So we had that going on. Like I said, I mimicked him. With you, I started wearing the headband.
Yeah.
I started wearing the headband. Here I was, a center, thinking I'm about to go to the league. At 6'4".
Yeah.
I'm the round mound already.
Yeah.
I'm the round mound, man. I done played AAU. Our basketball team in middle school was good. We formed a team, most of guys from Lauderdale County. Mm-hmm. Dane Strayhorn, Lorenzo, Damaris, Javaris, myself, Dante. Like, we were really, really, Dante Fitz, we were really, really good, man. And it's kind of crazy. We made the AAU national tournament, the one that's in Florida, from a bunch of county kids, okay? Like, we weren't like city Nashville or city Memphis kids. Like, we was like country kids, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And one of the things that we ended up getting hosed out of that, the coach at the time of the team. And it's so funny. Well, it was a few of us. It was me and Brian Flagg had to go speak to the Rotary Club, I think, just trying to raise money so we can afford to go to Orlando for the tournament.
Yeah.
So the time I think we made the time was like May, end of the school year. We were supposed to go, I think, down to Florida, which has been the first time I was ever leaving the state, really, I think.
Yeah.
Maybe the second time.
Great trip for you.
So I was really looking forward to this, man.
Yeah.
And we go back to middle of summer, and I still had the championship trophy at my house. It might be here somewhere now, in the house. And I'm looking for the coach, like, when we gonna start practicing? We raised this money, what we gonna do? The coach ended up taking the bread, man. Some of my teammates on here, they can attest to this.
And boned out on y'all?
Yeah, he took the bread from us, man. I heard he's like a pastor in Memphis now.
Wow.
Somebody vouched for that.
Hey, man, so guess what? I'm gonna be real. We're gonna reach out. We're gonna see if we can get him on the horn, man. I'm gonna give some of my sisters. See if we gotta get him on the horn. What was the coach's name? Was it Coach Braxton? What was his name? We never know. Who knows?
No, it's in the comments.
Who knows? This is Ron Slay speaking. This is from the words of Ron Slay. I said that name, so what I mean, make sure all that's clear. But neither here nor there, man. Okay, real quick though, before we leave this point and we go into high school, tell me the importance for kids coming up nowadays that don't have the motivation in their house. You know what I mean? Like they can reach out and touch. Like you had Ronaldo, you had me to look forward to.
My mom was on my tail big time.
Yeah,
yeah.
You know what I mean? That you can reach out and touch. So what does a kid do that, how important is it to find those little things of motivation, whether it be a celebrity, whether it be a guy that's in the neighborhood, somebody you can chase and you know those dreams can become real?
I had this conversation actually with a bunch of my college buddies last night. We had a Zoom. It was me, Aaron, my class of 04. We was most of us were on the Zoom call last night. Shout out to them.
Salute to them, VFLs. What up?
And we were talking about this situation, like what do you do, or the mindset. To me, I've always had a mindset I wanted more.
Right.
Or if I saw something, then I wanted to get my own.
Mm-hmm.
I think around the 7th grade, most of us, girls and guys, we hit a point in our lives where we can either start going, there's that fork. We can either start going right, or we end up going left.
Right.
And I tried to go more right than I did left in my life.
Yeah.
I think we all got to be realistic with how we're raised, what's in front of us, the decisions we've seen people made in front of us, and try to capitalize off of the good in those situations.
Right.
To me, I've always kind of been, I've had a goal for the most part. I didn't say it out loud, or I didn't make a big fuss about it or anything like that, but I realized early on, like, certain things you got to do. I think we all got to come to a point when we're 7th, 8th grade, like a lot of stuff that we probably like excuse kids for. Imagine what we were doing in 7th, 8th grade. Like,
right,
some things you do or should, what you do or shouldn't be doing. And I kind of grabbed onto that like early on, man. Like I knew I like to work a lot. I like having money.
Right.
Coach Earl, rest in peace to him, man. I started to work. I started to cut yards with him. Like that's one of the things that I wanted to do was like I wanted money, so I did that. Like I want to be a better basketball player. I focused in on that. I was like screw football for a while.
Right, I'm gonna get in here.
You know, so there's a lot of things that when you don't have somebody right in front of you, like set those goals, like line them up to where it's. I want this, so I'm gonna try to position myself as much as I can.
So
and it might not be exactly what you want. Like one of the things I wanted to be drafted. I didn't get exactly what I wanted, but I worked hard enough to land up in the ballpark.
Right.
You know?
Right.
That's one of the things I would say to kids or people who have kids. Like, you work your butt off for your main goal. When you get it, you're going to love it. But if you don't exactly get it, you're going to get something very, very close to what you were seeking. If not better than what you were seeking.
That's big time. That's big time now. So let's move to high school. Hey, good. What's happening? Be cool, man. We're gonna get to you, hey good. You just be cool. Don't worry.
A lot of my classmates are here too, man. I appreciate all y'all over the years, man. I know I haven't been back to Lauderdale a whole lot, but now I will. I'll be around, man.
Now see, Ramon. This is what I'm trying to tell you. See, this is where the brother instincts kick in. I was just about to ask this man a question. He just took off.
Okay,
I'm gonna took off in the boom boom room, but we're gonna bring it back. We're gonna bring it back in the end anyway. We're gonna bring it back in the end anyway. So ain't no tripping on it. But let's move on to high school. Everybody that is logged on and watching, tell a friend, man. We're gonna get some good jewels. Make your kids sit down and watch it. The language will be appropriate. So tune into this, man. You're in the boom boom room with Ron Slay, hosted by me. And my brother Ramon Foster's in here, VFL retired NFL Steelers, 11 plus years. We're just going along in his journey, talking about the obstacles, how he made it through them, transitioned through each one, and where he is today. Now we on up to high school. Yeah. The stories that we're telling, let me go on and say this immediately. The stories that we're telling, we're trying to reach back to Ramon as a 14-year-old, 15-year-old, 16-year-old, whatever age it was at that time, and tell the story through that lens. You understand, people? So you know what to expect if you're a kid watching. You know what I'm saying? So you'll understand the pitfalls that he may have went through, how you can overcome some, how you can navigate through. That's what the purpose of this is. When you're hearing a guy's story that has had success to the level that he has. So that's what this is. So when you hear them telling the story, don't be like, man, Ramon crazy, man. You should have seen. I mean, he's telling it from the eyes of a 14-year-old that didn't know nothing but what a 14-year-old knows. Understand? All right, here we go. So we moving into high school.
Yeah.
You catch back up with Nardo. Nardo putting it down. Now y'all at Ripley High, right?
Yeah, we're Ripley High School.
Ripley High. All right. That's what it is. So now we up there at Ripley. What's your transition? You don't put it down in middle school. You moving into high school. Tell me what the feeling's like. You walking into Ripley High. You know what I mean? Are you ready to get there? Like, I done put it down. I can't wait to get to high school. Or were you a little reserved, thinking that, man, I wish I had one more year in middle school, man, because I'm having a ball down here.
Basketball wise, I was ready for that. Like basketball wise, I was ready to go to high school. I thought I was going to the NBA.
Okay. Okay.
But football wasn't. It wasn't my main. It wasn't my main ambition at the time. I liked it. Right. It was cool, but like basketball, of course, is more short. And I thought, like, here I was, like 6'4" in the 8th grade. I knew I was gonna be 7 foot. Mm-hmm. I knew I was gonna be 7 foot, and not so much, man. So going to high school was real cool. I'll never forget the registration. I wore some.
How you come through?
Khaki shorts. I forget what kind of shoes I had on. I think I had on like a white polo or something like that. I told you I had slimmed up by like 9th grade.
So you no longer milk. You no longer milk. Now you coming through. You still playing.
On his partner still called me that.
Yeah.
I still was. And then it was milk or it was Big Foster, little brother. Or Little Foster. Yeah. Either one of them.
Yeah.
Either one of them. So I never forget registration, man. I go register. It was cool. I think I was up there with DeVaris Carter, my homeboy, and Brian, and maybe DeMaris was up there too. It was always the four of us. I'm being real. It was always the four of us for the most part. Register. We was just hanging around. I think Nardo was driving in, so I had to ride home with him after registration. But I was ready to go to high school though. I was ready, man.
That's it. Okay, so you coming into high school, you automatically know you coming into.
No, it's out skim milk.
See, that's what I'm talking about, like skim milk. Hey, so you come into high school knowing that you're gonna be able to make your name in football or basketball. Yeah. You just need to get there, and in the moment, it happens.
Yeah, so we had a really good coach. Coach Johnny McAdams, man, his whole entire staff. Coach Thompson, Coach Potter, Coach Bird, Coach Myers, just all across. Coach Smith, both Coach Smiths, like, were the entire staff. Am I forgetting somebody? If I am, man, my bad. But, like, that whole entire staff was amazing. Like, when Nardo first got to high school, they were so-so. By the time I got there, they was humping. Like, they were a very solid team, man. And, the thing was, going into the season, I ended up playing varsity, of course. But I didn't start. Freshman year, played varsity. We had no JV.
Oh,
he was good enough to, we didn't have no JV. He was good enough to play. He was going to play at least football anyway.
You had to like Coach Foreman, but the best 11 going to play.
I'm telling you. And I think my freshman year, what number was? I was 85.
Wow.
My freshman year, Nardo was 89. So he was DN, I was DN, but I didn't. Pruitt started, I think, on the other side, and I was the backup.
Okay.
Well, I didn't play a whole lot. I think I ended up winning like an award that year, like some award, like maybe Best Improved or something like that. That's another thing that went with the trailer, too.
Yeah.
All my trailers.
It went with the trailer?
It went with the trailer.
Golly.
I lost a lot of stuff.
Man, see, I'm glad it wasn't just me, man.
I lost a lot of stuff.
Man. Like, we lost a lot of stuff moving too, man. But,
yeah.
So, kids, y'all listen, man. Y'all moving place to place. It's all right, man. It's all right, man. It happens to the best of us, y'all. It builds a lot of character in a lot of instances. So, you know what I mean? Yeah. Stand tall through that. Stand tall through that. So, your freshman and sophomore, you give me them together. Your freshman year,
So we get through freshman football season, which is cool. But guess what I'm looking forward to?
You can't wait to hoop. You ready to put the headband on to get busy.
I can't wait to hoop. Okay, but okay. So let me jump back real quick to the football season.
Okay.
A lot of stuff that Nardo was very transcendent. I keep name dropping him, but he is my guy. Not even just now, but like, and he hearing a lot of this because I've never just like verbally say it to him. But that was my guy.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't say it, and I'm be real with you. Sometimes I probably didn't particularly like Nardo.
Right. That's what happens.
I felt like he was in the way. He was in the way, okay? In a good way, though. I think with us being so close to age, it was good and bad because if he was old enough to do some stuff that I wasn't, and if he was going to do something, I just had to stay around the house.
Right.
You know, a lot of like little stuff like that. But Nardo was transcendent. Nardo was the one that was wearing like all black cleats. He had like Under Armour stuff with black tall socks. He was one of the first dudes I know like match his gloves, his cleats with his socks.
And you got to be cold to run out with them all black cleats. Now I'm gonna be real.
And he was.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I like when his gloves got old, guess who was wearing? I didn't care if they wore stuff.
Yeah. Let me get them.
If not.
Yeah.
So I was wearing his cleats. Still an admiration for him, but basketball season comes around now.
Right.
My time to shine. Okay, let's go.
Yeah.
It was cool. Like I said, our squad was really cold in 8th grade. Like we played in like the middle school championship in Jackson. I saw Ken Sutton say that earlier. We played in the we played against the number one player. He was like top 5 player in the country from Memphis. I forget his name. Somebody say his name. Javaris just checked on. He'll say his name. Who's the 8th grader that ended up going to Memphis? He was like the number 1 point guard in the nation. He was a short dude, but he was cold. One of the dudes that developed like really, really well. They probably thought he was going to be like 6'3".
Yeah.
But he ended up being like, I think he only maxed out at like 5'10".
That's tough.
But he ended up going to Memphis though. Somebody said his name in the comments though. But
Andre Allen.
Andre Allen.
There you go. Appreciate that, Javaris. I mean,
yeah, salute. That's my guy. GP.
Okay.
My guy, GP.
Nardo said something about it. Yep. Okay.
Yeah. It was Andre Allen. He was cold. It's so funny I can say it now. But our goal was to foul him out of the game. If we drew fouls on him, it was $5 a foul. I drew 2 of them on him.
Let me get that little dime.
Yeah. So our basketball coach at the time, he gave us Coach Webb. Rest in peace to him, man. Very solid. He taught me a lot, man. It's tragic on his situation, but very solid dude. A lot of people loved him, man. But he gave me like $10 after that. Best $10 I ever had at the time. Look at that, I got 2 fouls on him. But going into that fall, and I guess that winter for freshman basketball, Coach Langley was our coach, man. And it was the same squad. Me, Brian, Damaris, Javaris, Stephen Dew, Tom Fitchu. We were I might be forgetting 1 or 2 other guys on the team, of course. But those we played freshman basketball with Coach Langley. And not only that, but I think it was me, Joe, Damaris, and Brian all played varsity too.
Wow.
And which was, it created a lot of work ethic. It created a lot of hard times.
Yeah.
It showed you really, I think it prepped us all for a lot of other different things that we didn't understand at the time. So Coach Langley was hard on us.
Yeah.
Turnover. It was suicide. And he meant every bit of it too. Like if we had like, it was one time we had like 24 turnovers and still won the game. Guess how many suicides we ran?
How many?
24. Not only that, he would break us off down at the time it was freshman JV gym, which is where the football team used to weightlift at. He would break us off there, and then we have to walk all the way up to the hill to go practice with varsity.
Yeah.
But that shows, one, how good of a team we had.
Right.
Somebody said Franklin's tap. Franklin was a year behind us. That showed how good of a team we had, number 1. And 2, we were some dogs since all of us went at it.
Right.
All of us.
So y'all were all holding each other accountable at a young age.
We were, and that's another thing too. I say for younger kids, that seventh grade to where you, like I said earlier, where you decide, like in your life or your transition to what you want to be, whether you're gonna go right or whether you're gonna left. One of the things I always have had, even in college, I get to that too, was your circle means a lot. I'm sure you can attest to that too. Like your circle means a lot. It was forever. I've always been a chameleon amongst people. Like I would talk to anybody. If anybody said I didn't know I dissed them, I could be a lie.
Right.
Right. Just try to reach everybody in a sense. But my guys though.
Yeah.
Me, Javars, Demars, and B Flag. Those were the guys. And I think a lot of our successes in high school, college, and in life, and also Marquis.
Yeah.
Marquis Robinson, shout out to my guy. We call him 50. We thought he looked just like 50 Cent. Still 50.
Yeah.
But that circle of direct guys could have taken me, or I could have taken them the wrong path or the right path. And we all kind of, we weren't perfect. We teetered right there in the middle of doing the right things and stuff. Stuff is always worked out for us.
You all were average teenagers doing what our average teenagers do, with the same obstacles that they have, with decisions to be made.
And the thing was, people might have called us corny. People might have said, well, they ain't smoking like us, they ain't drinking like us, they ain't at all the parties. I wasn't at all the parties, sure, because we stayed in the country.
Right.
Well, nobody's going to take me home after no party.
Yeah, that was going to be trouble trying to get back home. Yeah.
Man, and it was dark. I'm talking about your lights on bright all the way home, all the way to my house. Okay, that's how dark it was.
Hey, that's funny.
But I'll say that too. Knowing your position and where you are as a young cat, as quick as you can know it. I know some people's situations are different because a lot of people got to grow up quicker in life too. I respect that, I understand that too. But if you can recognize your situation and the friends you are around, that is one of the hugest things I think that can attest to a lot of people's success.
Right.
I know they help me accountable.
Let's fast forward to your senior year.
My senior year.
Let's get to your senior year. Give me some flash moments about that senior year that stuck out to you before we get to the recruiting part.
Senior year that stuck out to me. One, I felt like I was a man going to say senior year.
What year is this? What year is this? This is 03, 04?
This is fall of 03.
Okay.
Going into the senior year. I knew we had a good team coming back for football. I was more serious about football then.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what happened.
What shifted? There you go. Give me a point where it shifted.
What shifted from me loving basketball compared to football was we went to an AAU tournament. My guys can tell you the same thing. They in the comments. We went from we was on the AAU team. Wasn't that great? We were traveling to what was the city? Right across from the bridge. We was coming all the way to Middle Tennessee to play AAU team.
Yeah.
AAU. And we ended up going to Memphis for a tournament. Here I was, I'm a 6'4" at the time, maybe 6'5" center. We go to Memphis, and there's a 6'7" point guard.
Oh, wow.
Not even, and the center was, I think, like 6'9".
Sure.
Okay. Hickman County. Yeah, we was coming out of Hickman County.
Okay.
And their center was like 6'9". Gerald Houston, I think is his name, ended up going to Mississippi State, and their point guard, I think it was two twins.
Yeah.
And they both were point guards my height. And here I am in the post trying to body them, trying to make it happen. Nah, we good on basketball.
So you in the boom boom room, but it's a little too much going on in the boom boom room. They came to you in the boom boom room.
No lie, I ain't go out like no sucker, but it was just like that was a lot. Like ain't no 6'5" centers in the NFL, man. I mean in the NBA.
So you made a business decision.
I made it, and I said I still love basketball. I'm gonna do that to stay in shape for football.
Right.
That's 100% what I said. I loved it. I competed well, and I did all that stuff. Like I couldn't wait to. That's when I became to. That's when I was just trying to body somebody in the post. That's all I want. That drop step elbow. That's all I want.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. Ain't a thing wrong. I'm here to testify. Ain't a thing wrong with giving them that elbow.
And then the thing was, there was a lot of stuff that clicked too was my explosiveness as far as like dunking that wheel wasn't that Nardo could do like crazy. I never forget watching him my sophomore year. It was his senior year. Nardo, he just started playing basketball.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But Nardo stole the ball. I think he got pissed. That's something. He had an attitude like big time. Nardo got pissed one time, and the guys in here can tell you in the comments, he stole the ball. It had to be against Covington or Haywood. Stole the ball. Point guard was out there. He said, F you, and just went coast to coast and rammed it.
Yeah.
And they went wild. I didn't have
hit it with the two-hand joint?
Yes. It was like TV. Still one of my best sports moments I've ever seen.
Wow.
And it was point guards open on the corner. Manny Green was open. Little Bobby was open. But guess what? Didn't nobody mess with Nardo.
I would have tripped off that.
Yeah, Nardo went coast to coast and banned it like that. And I'm gonna be real, I don't think I had a game dunk in my career.
Yeah.
Like my explosiveness just where I understood like I had to work hard for my stuff. So the AAU is what transitioned me to football. So junior year going into senior year, I focused a little bit more. I think I might have made like all districts and stuff like that. We had a really good football team. Going into our senior year, that's when Javaris and DeMaris decided they was going to play football too.
So your dogs come out there.
My boys finally come out there, man. It was crazy. Them two are probably some of the best athletes to ever come through Lauderdale County, period. Just simply because Joe was just elusive as ever. DeMaris could jump out of this world. We had Brown, we had Blake McAllis at quarterback, we had Richard Montgomery. We had a solid, big offensive line. Chad Ammons was there. Like, it was a very solid offensive line and running backs down at Baltimore. Rest in peace to him, man. The tragic situation. We had a solid team.
Yeah.
Okay. And we go into it. Going into that actually. Coach McAdams.
Mm-hmm.
People who are coaches or have influence over kids. I don't know that was for him to be in, I think, that era of players, our lives.
Right.
I'll just completely just say it. Coach Mack and his staff, of all the guys he had, they sent our tapes out. They worked the heck out of us in a good way. They showed us a lot of like, yes, sir, no, sir type of things, how and why you do stuff. You got to take the ACT. You got to do this with that teacher.
Mm-hmm.
Coach Mack was taking us to like Ole Miss football games when we had like the unofficial visit. We went to camps. We had weightlifting competitions. Just a lot of little things, man, that I think helped mold that era of guys that came through. It was really, really huge for us. And one of the things that happened was he took me to I was getting offers because one, everybody always chases the little brother.
Yeah.
And so when Nardo went to Louisville, I think it kind of opened up the entire recruiting like market for our area too.
Mm-hmm. So Nardo went to Louisville, your sophomore year, going out of your sophomore year, going into your junior year. He was at Louisville. So now going into your senior year, right before you get ready to start doing recruiting. Pick us up right there. Were you getting a lot of letters? Were you getting like what was that like? What was that like? What was that moment? Was that a proud moment for you? Was that?
It was.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be real. And the first recruiting letter I got actually was from a basketball school, Binghamton in New York. I think
and I never even heard of Binghamton.
Yeah, I think they sent out recruiting letters to everybody, but they actually really recruited me pretty solid though. They hung on for a little while.
Yeah.
And it goes from there to start getting football letters. And I was getting courted by the guy because Nardo was there. And not only that, just all the SEC schools, like I said, Coach McAdams sent our stuff to everybody. Ole Miss, Memphis was right down the street. I always went to Memphis. UT, Mississippi State, Kentucky, Arkansas was huge onto me. Michigan State, because that's where Nardo, first year coach, went to. So I had a bunch of letters coming into
it. What brought Tennessee into the picture? Talk about that. Going to a football camp.
Coach Mack took me to a football camp. I think right before the season started. It was like an overnight camp. When they used to do them, I'm not sure if they still do them.
Mm-hmm.
And they saw me work then, and that's where I actually got my offer at.
Wow, yeah. That's wow. What we got? Nardo chiming in. Ronaldo showed out in Louisville early on. Yes, he did. Kentucky. He got a bash him. It's only right Nardo do that. And we cool with that, Nardo. As Vols, we are okay with that. Ain't nothing, no problem with that. So, biggest highlight about that recruiting experience, getting ready to go to Tennessee. What weighed in on that? Did you sit down? Did you talk to Nardo about that? Did you talk to your mom about that? Like, who were some of the influencers? Or was this a decision made solely on you?
It was a little bit of all of that. I'll go back to 8th grade too. It was a PE teacher. She's still around too, Miss Ann Chipman. At the time, you was there, and I think they just won a Natty that year, or the year before too. And she told me, I think she knew, but not really. And she was like, "You're gonna go to the University of Tennessee." Crazy.
Hey, so she figured it out.
Yeah,
she knew what it was. How early in the picture though did you go to that camp and they start recruiting you to when you were offered by them?
I went to the camp. It had to been like June. I got the offer like right after I got back from the camp. I think I'm pretty sure because I had it going into the season because I know I didn't take any other trips going into the season simply because the season was starting. But they came by the school a few times. Coach Pat Washington came to the school. Yeah, solid dude. He was there with you.
Mm-hmm.
He was coming by the school. There's a bunch of coaches coming by the school and stuff like that. I know it, but I didn't really know to what extent or how important that stuff was. Looking back on it, was really, really cool, man, especially for our area in West Tennessee where a lot of people weren't going on football scholarships like that.
Right.
If they were, they was going like to Memphis or like to smaller schools. So it was huge for these coaches to be coming by. But what did it for me was it was around the time during the season we were kicking butt, man. I think at the time we had to have been like 6-1 or something like that going into it. Closer to the end of the season, we were up big time, and it had to have been while UT was still in session. But it was around the time where official visits kick off.
Right.
And the thing that got me to UT, you want to know honestly,
yes,
was the weekend I went to UT, I was actually scheduled to go to Michigan State.
Really?
It was and they had a huge snowstorm, so my flight got canceled, and they wanted to reschedule.
Wow.
So what happened was, I think Tennessee was trying to get me up there at that point. They was having a big recruiting weekend that weekend too, and I go up there, and I had a ball. Okay, it was insane.
You went in the spring?
Huh?
You went in the spring on your visit?
The fall. This is how crazy. I'm gonna say everything that's gonna line up to you about it. So we go up there, we drive up there. Me, my mom, and my stepdad. Actually, in my granddaddy's truck, the brown Chevy that he had. We drove up there. They put us in the hotel over by the Women's Hall of Fame.
Yep.
The one on the hill. We up there. We get there. We out. Here I was, young, didn't know anybody. I thought I looked older.
Right.
Baby, all of that, okay.
Hey.
And we get to UT, and I ain't gonna lie. I loved everything about it. It might have been my first choice. I never really told nobody, really. My serious contenders were Michigan State, Tennessee, Ole Miss, Arkansas, and Louisville. Those were the ones I was really, really looking at. And I went to UT. So, of course, we have the welcome dinner with the parents and stuff like that. And one of the things that happened was we ended up going to a party. Guess who the party was?
Ooh.
At the time, what he was just taking off. T.I.
Wow.
T.I. was the party, man. It was me. John Poe had me as his host. Shout out to him. Because he from West 10. He had me in the club with my Ripley High Letterman jacket on.
Hey, he fresh off the yard coming up there, man.
And I'll never forget, we had a time of our life, man, because it's crazy. A fight broke out in there when they started playing Money Hills, Cars and Clothes came out.
Yeah, yes, sir.
Yes, he was just taking off as an artist, and he was still just coming to Knoxville at the time, okay? Straight up fight broke out. I'll never forget. It was Kevin Burnett was in there. I think
KB,
Tinsley was
salute
in there.
KB.
Shout out to Tinsley.
D10s, he was on here, yeah.
I'm telling Tinsley, and if they can see how I said, I remember it was. I don't know if Hobart. I don't think Hobart came. David Hobart didn't come on my trip, but Brian Braun was there. Schaefer. Was it Schaefer? It was a bunch of us that had committed though too. Crazy. Okay, I come back and at the time I ain't even take no more trips.
Really?
I ain't take no more trips. And I had a talk, I'm sure, with Coach Mack and my mom, and I was like, I want to go to UT. And the thing is, I said something to Nardo about committing, and his coach was all up on me all the way up to signing day. I'm going to be real. But the thing was, the breaker between me, and I'm glad Nardo didn't do this, was he never, hi, Miss Ann, I see you, Miss Chipman. Shit. I'm talking about the time I went to Tennessee. But the thing that happened was Nardo never asked me.
Really?
He never asked me. I went up there to Nardo. Actually, I think going into that senior year, I went and kicked it at his apartment. And I saw everything. I went to the coach's office. Probably wasn't supposed to go. It's a violation, but we passed that point now.
Yeah, yes, we are.
Shout out to his coach. I think his coach at the time was Coach Braun. Well, it was one of the Braun brothers at the time. And I probably would have went to Louisville if Nardo had simply asked me.
Now, the funny thing about this is, if I would have, if it would have came across me at any time at UT, I would have asked you immediately. So Nardo, I'm glad you didn't ask Nardo, because I would have asked immediately. You hear me? And that's a fact.
Because I'm gonna be real, if I had a younger brother at school, I was gonna ask him.
Yeah, I mean, this is, hey boy, woo-wee. But see, Nardo is different though. He's different from. But he's so different, but he's so sad. Like there's so much to dive into with Nardo, man. Because that's a whole different. He's an onion, man. There's so many different layers, man. But boy, hey, that's funny, man. That is crazy. So you chose UT.
Yeah.
Got Mr. Football.
I did win Mr. Football my year. I had a really good year. Yeah, I didn't even know you could win Mr. Football for a lineman.
A lineman.
I had no idea. Coach Mack telling me, you're nominated for Mr. Football. I'm like, what? All I wanted to do was make All-State.
See, my guy Marcus Green, Philly native, you know what I mean? You didn't talk to him once or twice, but my thing is, Mark, he said that's a dope story. The funny thing is, I'm trying to figure out, I had a very good connection with the football program at UT at the time. Very, very good. I'm trying to figure out why I wasn't brought in on this. Like on this
I think you was just out then.
I might have been out. I know, because that's why I said, was it in the fall or was it in the spring? Because I was out there.
That was in the I was in the fall.
Fall of 03 though.
Yeah, fall of 03.
Yeah, so I just left on up out of there. But boy, see, they should have got him up his junior year, boy. Ooh.
Yeah,
we could have got him on the dotted line, UT. That's what I'm trying to tell y'all. Feel me, Peter Crack? We could have got him on the dotted line, Pat. You know what I mean? It was going down.
I know, man, but I had always wanted to go to UT number one, and the fact that, and I'm glad he didn't, because that's where I ended up meeting my wife at. There's a lot of lifetime friends I made there, so it all happened for a reason. So shout out to him for not asking. But if that was me and I had a little brother and I knew he was good, just won Mr. Football and stuff like that, I would have asked him.
I would have did it too.
But it, like you said, Nardo's different. It takes a different type of person to let somebody just go like that. And it worked out for him. Nardo was killing it. Yeah. I went to UT. And that was another thing I wanted. The reason I chose UT too was the situation we were when we grew up. I'll be honest, it wasn't terrible, but it wasn't great either. It was sometimes we came home, and I don't know if a lot of people in our area know that, but lights weren't on in the house.
Talk about it.
And they weren't on for at least a night or two.
Right.
Until we got them turned back on. Mom always cooked, and she could just make a meal out of anything. It wasn't bad. It just was unstable. Like a lot of different people, a lot of regular households. It was just unstable as it was. So, and then I'm gonna be honest with you, I didn't like staying in the country like that.
Right.
So I wanted to get away as far as I can to where I can experience something different.
Yeah.
Like where we're from in Lauderdale County, or just small town USA, period. Or even small hood, where you from.
Right.
Little hood is what you know. Nashville big, but it's small.
It was, especially at that point, it was very small.
You know what I'm saying? So whether it's like, some people don't move 50 miles outside of their radius. And that was one of the things I wanted to do. That's the reason I was so intrigued by Michigan State.
Right.
I wanted to go and see something different. Right. I went to UT because it was 6 hours, a 6 hour drive away.
Yeah.
I couldn't just go home.
Yeah, at that point, that ain't no hop in the car and roll out.
Yeah. I wanted to experience, I hate to say it like, but a little struggle. And I wanted to go to a place where I didn't have to worry about well water.
Right.
Like the water that we had in our trailer wasn't city water. We had well water that tasted a little funny. We had I lived around fields where, like when they harvested like when they harvested the fields with the corn or the soybean or the cotton, like we would get mice in the wintertime because I knew every year, it's time to set traps. It's time to set mice traps because when they moved and shook the ground, the mice came out.
Right.
And they would come in through our, like, it was always a hole or something in the trailer. They would come in through the trailer or something like that. Like, I'm being raw and real with you because it pushed me to want more. See, that's something I told you too. When I got to my dorm room, anybody can tell you, like, Gibbs was really, really cool, but it wasn't great. My own bed.
Right.
I knew I had city water.
Right.
And I knew I had 3 meals a day. That's what I loved about getting away, going to UT.
Right.
What aspect.
So take us. You get on UT campus. biggest change for you. The biggest shock for you getting on the campus at UT. Like you said, you're at Gibbs Hall. Me, I know I can attest. Wasn't nothing like being able to go into it and having your own room. I was coming from Oak Hill where I had my own room in the dorm, but coming to UT, you got a cafeteria right there. You can go hit anytime, take food back. You got the you coming into an independent lifestyle in a sense.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that was beautiful. So what was your transition like coming onto UT campus? You came in with a great class, a very, very good class, 04 class. What was your transition like jumping up there on campus?
It was cool. It was shaky because, like I said, me being from it was cool and shaky because me being from a small town, developed us in like a really cool way. But my exposure to the world, to where a lot of people had come from, wasn't it wasn't like a lot of theirs. If you was from West Tennessee at that time, you can tell anybody from that area. Same thing.
Man.
Like the way people wore their clothes, like the thing I loved about Knoxville for me was it wasn't just a bunch of people that said or talk like how I talk. And if you know that, then you know like it's different. Like some of my closest partners was from Virginia, New York, New Jersey, Atlanta. Like everybody that I like, UT is a melting pot. Which things I loved about it.
Right.
Everybody from everywhere. Like the majority of our athletes came from out of state. A lot from Atlanta, South Carolina, North Carolina, Virginia, Jersey, just all across. Okay. And for me, it was a transition into one, like how you dress a little bit, how you move a little bit, being in college with somebody that you don't know who's from New Jersey, L. Ash, shout out to my roommate. Just seeing different things and experiencing stuff. It's the first time where I got to be on my own.
Right.
And like I said, I'm appreciative for Nardo not asking me to come to Louisville, but I'm also appreciative that you wasn't there just to babysit me too.
Right.
There was a lot of stuff I was like, okay, well, truth being told, I ain't got to go to class today. I ain't gonna know.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of things that you gotta like self-discipline yourself. There's a lot of things you gotta hold yourself, like finding a schedule. Like I didn't have for some reason I didn't have an orientation. So like finding where the classes were, riding a public transportation system, the T.
Yeah.
It was new to me. Getting the money, Pell Grant.
Yeah, Pell Grants.
Like here I was, I didn't know anything about it. It's like, oh yeah, you probably made an excess check for what?
Yeah, it's a ball.
I think mine was like $2,100.
Yeah.
And it all belonged to me.
Yeah. Yeah. See, y'all had a bankroll. I was $1,750. I remember it.
Crazy, okay? So that aspect of it, I think that was the biggest, which I welcomed it, but it burned me too, though.
Right.
Here I was getting this bankroll, dude, and the first thing I went to, Marshalls.
Yeah.
I went and bought all the clothes. I customized some shoes.
Yeah.
I bought my first contracted phone through Sprint. I had a Sprint flip phone that was a camera. It was silver. I never forget it. And then on top of that, I went out and got another phone. Why? Because I could. Okay, so like transitioning through that type of stuff was like, it was what happened midway through that semester. I was broke as a joke.
Yeah, go out quick.
Okay, it went quick. I never realized how quick $2,000 would go when you just spent it. I probably spent like $300-$400 on clothes for no reason. Right. Simply because I didn't have a whole lot of clothes, and now that I can go buy my own clothes, my own money, I would. I think I sent some to mom. I bought stuff for the room. I was just happy to be spending money. That was mine.
You was out here balling. Don't even know. And see, and people, kids is listening, man. Let me tell you, dog. Like, you get to college and you get that independence on your own, and you get to get some money in your pocket consistently. Yeah. You know what I mean? For meal checks, you know. Yeah. So all this work hard is paying off. You know what I'm saying? So, man, be wise about it, man. Like I think now, hopefully, they have situations in place to help you try to manage or coach you through it. You know what I mean? But at that time, man, I was getting that $1,750. I was going to Players. That was the dress place. You go to Players, the clothing place, and then at that time we was trying to see who could spend ours the fastest at the club. We were trying to buy the bar. You know what I mean? This is the Cash Money record days. So it was wild, man. It was wild. So take me up your sophomore, junior year. Let me know let me know about your college. Talk to me about your college experience.
College experience was cool, man. It was a transition for me. I redshirted my. I didn't play. I just practiced a whole lot. Traveled with the team and all that stuff. Just got familiar. Going into my redshirt freshman year, which was my second year, I had a monster spring. I won I got most improved that year. I actually won that award too. Which kind of cool. I don't know if anybody win it. Might have been one other person won it twice. And that year I ended up starting actually the first year of the game, I think, against UAB because Cody Douglas, who was the starting left guard, is ironic. My first start in college was at left guard. I ended my career as a left guard in the NFL. So I ended up starting that year. I don't think I started no more after that. Sophomore year, I played, didn't start, and going into my junior year, I think I won most improved again.
Right.
Which I got to go. Like it something clicked to me. Like I knew I was like eligible then, as far as like the league and stuff like that. And I got most improved. I ended up starting the next 2 years after that.
Right.
Solid season. I think that year I might have had like a 5th round grade or something like that. Decided to come back, which was cool for me. I wasn't no rush.
Right.
The league and me, I thought I could like strengthen my draft stock and stuff like that. Had a really good year. I think we played in the SEC championship that year, all aboard. And then the next year, I was thinking it was going to have a really great year, and we didn't. We ended up switching offensive coordinators. Coach Fulmer got fired that year, man, which is, to me, still one of the biggest mistakes that UT could have made.
Man. And Vol fans, listen, we just not digging out of that hole.
Yes, we are.
Just not getting out of that hole. That was a deep one they put us in, but we back. We on the way. We on the way.
We on the way, I hope. Anyway, man, Coach Pruitt is doing a lot of good stuff. Yes, but my senior year, ended up meeting my wife, or ended up talking to Keisha my junior year, going into my senior year. Senior year, ended up having my son, RJ, who's now 11. And you talk about shout out to Jim. Talk about a different, tough time. But I will say, once again, I had a group of guys around me that was the same as in high school. We all flourished together.
Right.
It was me, Rob Ayers, Inky Johnson, Gerard Mayo, Sinclair Cannon. Like, we all hung around each other, pushed each other, and flourished in the same fashion together.
Now,
Inky,
pause that real quick because I like to give our viewers a different perspective. This is from Ramon's perspective. Now, let me give you my perspective coming into it. I remember coming back, and I loved what they had going on. I remember calling home, asking our strength coach, Big Rod, Roger Moore.
Big Rod,
man, what my boy doing, Rod? Is he putting it down the belt? And he'd be like, man, he's trying to work into it slowly. And then I remember calling, and Big Rod was like, hey, man, no, your brother going to work. You know what I mean? I'm like, no, I told you what they were going to do. You know what I mean? I'm going off. You know what I mean? This is all the behind the scenes. Like, I would never let Mo know this at the time, but I'm going bananas. Man, I told y'all, man. I told y'all get him up at this, that, and the other. You know what I mean? So I remember coming back and coming there in the summer and seeing the group that y'all had. And, man, it reminded me so much of what we had when I was in school. You know what I mean? Y'all having the cookouts. Y'all got the spades going. Y'all connected to the guys that were there before you all. Yeah. And still, you know what I mean, still standing yourself at the same time, but it's still one family, you know what I mean? It was click tight, and man, I was so proud to see that dog. You don't know how happy that made me, man, coming back and seeing that. I was like, man, dude, they doing it the right way, man. Like, I remember them cookouts and spades games. Like, somebody going to get the charcoal, chipping in, get the chicken. Like, man, it was serious, dog. And that was big time, man. I was coming home from overseas, coming back to supposed to be going to school at the time, but I was just going on. I was going to have me a college experience again, though, you know?
Again. And it was.
We had a blast, man.
We had a ball. I never forget, like you said, going into that year, that was the year that you and I first linked up my junior year, which, like you said, was an awesome year because, like, I was playing ball well. Mm-hmm. Proven, you and I had linked. Nardo, I think, was training for the league too. Yeah, that was one of the biggest things. Like, your support system, and your immediate circle of friends determines a lot of your success. And
that's what I wanted you to hit on. That's what I wanted you to hit on because a lot of these kids coming up now, you know, they go into college and they got 20,000 followers on Instagram. You know what I mean? 100,000 on Twitter. Like it's their fame is born before a sense of them even doing anything in college. So what do you do about that newfound fame, and how does your circle stay tight, man? Because I remember you, Inky, Rob, all y'all, man, y'all was so tight, dog. It was like, that's what it's about.
To me, it was more about being real about where you were and how you were. Kids these days, to me, I think, is be real about it. I always tell people, I think I got a pin to my Twitter. Mm-hmm. A lot of the things that we go through, a lot of your heroes that you meet on those apps or fans aren't real. A lot of them will let you down. Right. So go through your life as if it's you working for you. Don't be the next Carmelo. Don't be the next Jordan. Be the first you. Mm-hmm. Like that determines a lot of things. You mimic yourself after somebody else. Well, guess what? If somebody already done found out how to shut him down. Right. So what you gonna do to create your game and create your lifestyle or your path? That's one of the things I always tell people, like, be you first. Like, if you got your deficiencies, work on them. Mm-hmm. Then work on your strengths after that. That's how I've always gotten down. And not only that, but like, you can't shut yourself out from reality of like not having somebody being able to check you. Right. That's one thing I've always been able to have is have somebody check me or like be real with me about stuff. Mm-hmm. And that goes back to having a solid circle of friends. Like I said, the guys that I hung around with in college, and not only that, but just having you and Nardo as outside support too. Right. You want the credit for it, but heck, you paid my rent my senior year. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's some stuff. And Nardo was shooting me like cash. Like, you and Nardo helped me get my first car that I had to pay a car note on. Mm-hmm. What's so crazy about that? The first time you gave me $2,000. I think Nardo gave me $2,000 to get the car, and I had some Pell Grant money. Mm-hmm. Nardo co-signed on it because I had probably no credit. Okay. Right. It's so funny. I'm so idiotic. I financed it through the place I bought it from, and so I'm trying to put my first car note. I'm trying to pay them.
Yeah.
I'm trying to pay the car lot. He's like, no, where's your information? Jason Taylor, okay, in Knoxville now. He's like, no, where's your paperwork at? You got to pay the bank. I'm like, and then Nardo called me because Nardo's always had A1 credit, okay?
Mm-hmm.
He's like, dude, you ain't pay your car note. I'm like, I'm trying to pay it, but I don't know how to pay it. Then I was really low on cash at the time. I think Nardo paid my first car note that I had because he was a rookie with the Falcons. But after that, I took the responsibility, like, all right, I got to pay my own bill because I don't want to let Nardo down. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But then on the backside of that, I had the support of you, who at the time, Keisha and I had RJ. And that was a struggle being in college, having him trying to play ball and just trying to really, one thing I always told Keisha Mama was I make sure I take care of this, and I want to make sure, and you and Nardo were a huge part of me being able to handle that. And I've always tried to return that back to you guys because it was your support system without draining it. It's huge. Like, you can have a support system. One of the things you told me when I was like down bad in college about some bread was, hey, you gotta lean on somebody. Bosses lean on people before they boss up.
Right.
Never forget that.
Right.
And I was like, okay.
Right.
I'm more comfortable because pride is a heck of a thing.
It's something else, man. It's something else.
It's a bad thing. And you told me, it's like, man, before people were bosses, man, they always had somebody else they could lean on to. And I was very appreciative of you and him in those situations because I wasn't finna trying to call my mom or anything like that because I knew that if I was struggling, they was probably struggling too, or they didn't have much to send back.
Right.
I was gonna find a way to make it happen, man.
And see, that was the biggest thing, man. For you kids listening, man, your foundation and your circle, man, that's some of the strongest things that elevate you to a different level. You know what I mean? Like, and that's not for anyone to expose or anything, but this is the Boom Boom Room, and we get up close and personal here. So we share things, and that's what this platform is for, to share things that you might not get to read on Twitter or something of that nature. You know what I mean? But this platform is for that, man. So me personally, I was looking at it like, man, my dog got to figure it out, but he got to know that I'm right here. And I'm overseas getting this bankroll at the time. You know what I mean?
I don't want to tap into that,
like,
man.
Yeah, like, you know what I mean? It's part of it. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, and it's always been it's reciprocated on both ends. You feel what I'm saying? And that's just how life is, man. That's why it's always important how you choose who your circle is. You know what I mean?
And it also goes back to I think it eased me a little bit too because I always follow the creed that my Uncle Maurice and my granddaddy give to me. To this day, I'll do for you as long as you're doing for yourself.
Right.
I'll at least help and guide you where I can without emptying the bucket because I need you to pour into your own bucket too.
Right.
I can't just do this. And that's one of the things I think that I've kind of dealt with like moving with my family through this whole process is just, if you show me progress, then we're going to make it happen. Stop.
We're going to get to that in the end. We're going to get to that in the end. Hey, I appreciate everybody listening in the Boom Boom Room, man. So I'm in here with Ramon Foster, my brother, man. VFL, Pittsburgh, still 11 years, man. So we done went through high school. We done had colleges. Anything else you'd like to share share about college before we take off and get to the transition of you going to the league?
Okay. Only thing I would say is to anybody who has kids or if it's young kids watching or who will watch this, at least this segment, leave your city at least for a little bit. I know if you don't have to, don't. Right. But if you got an option to do something, do it. At least go 100 miles somewhere or go to a campus that is going to have multicultural like diversity there. See something different than where you are. So therefore, you know there's something more.
Right.
Where I'm from, a lot of people stay, and that's cool too. A lot of people make it happen there. But if you have that opportunity to go see something, man, at least do a year of college or some advanced education or something, or travel, do something, see something different, man, because it'll open your eyes to what's out there. I say that to any kids I talk to these days. See the world for more than what it is in your hometown.
I can't be mad at that. You know what I mean? People gotta love it. I can't do nothing but let the people clap to it. You know what I mean? So there you go. You got that. So tell me, Ramon, we're working into the draft now. Mm-hmm. You're coming off having a successful year personally. You know what I mean? Coach Fulmer did leave. That was a pain to see. But you're getting ready now. You're shifting your mind, your focus. When did you start thinking about NFL? When you were your senior year?
That whole senior year, I was ready for.
So ready to move on, sort of like you were in middle school at the time.
Because you know why? I saw what you and Nardo had, and I wanted it too. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Like I said, it's a lot of things I picked from you guys. I drove your car. I remember driving your Benz around campus.
Yeah.
What's the compliance officer probably mad?
Yes.
You know, but that in itself was, I wanted my own. Mm-hmm. I wanted my own, so I thought about it. I wanted it. It didn't drive me crazy, but it gave me a drive.
Right.
I wanted what you and Nardo had, and I wanted to be at the status of saying, I'm holding my end up with this professional thing too.
Right.
That's where I was. So that whole year, and we can fast forward because we've been on for a good little minute.
Yeah, so, we like this. See, and what y'all got to realize, man, this connection is deeper than this, man. Like we sit and talk like this regardless anyway. So
we do.
That's why, you know what I mean. So we'll fast forward. You went undrafted, going to the Steelers.
About that, at least that process, and it carried me probably through my whole career. Mm-hmm. Being undrafted when I know I could have been was probably one of the biggest chips I had, and I probably said it throughout my career, like undrafted this, undrafted that, because it drove me, and I appreciated it too. Right. And I'll never forget the situations though. At the time, I think the draft was like 4 or 5 days. At the time, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and even Sunday. Mm-hmm. So I watched it all day. I probably only gonna be in the first round. Second round, okay. Third day, okay, it's probably my day to shine. If not, I got tomorrow.
Right.
No call Thursday, Friday, or Saturday. Sunday, okay, whatever, we'll make it happen. The whole time, I remember Keisha went somewhere, and it was me and RJ, and I think the end of the draft had happened. Mm-hmm. And I'll never forget, I had RJ, we was staying at Woodgate Apartments, where you and I shared the room too, shared the apartment. Yeah. And I sat there with RJ in my arms. Here I was, a young dad with a woman who's depending on me, and I got to make it happen. And nothing happened as far as the draft. And I'm getting choked up a little bit now just talking about it because I had RJ in my hands who had just gone through heart surgery earlier that year. He had heart surgery, open heart surgery earlier that year. He had a condition called tetralogy of Fallot, and I got to make a way for them.
Right.
And I didn't get drafted. I sat my arms on the floor at the time, and I cried. Probably one of my first times probably crying at that time since my grandma had passed in like 99, 2000. So it was like the first time I was legitimately, I probably had shed a tear in that moment. And that made me cry because I felt like I had let down my responsibilities. Mm-hmm. And I don't think she knew. I might have told her in the meantime, but I don't know if she knew it or not. But yeah, that was one of the first times I was like, I'm supposed to make this happen. And it ain't happened for me.
Right.
But move past that. It was one of the saddest, happiest moments ever because at that time I started getting phone calls from I think it was, I had like 13 offers on the table. For free agency, for undrafted free agent. I'm like, where were y'all then?
Yeah. What was wrong with going to draft me? Y'all could draft me in the 6th round. It's cool.
I would have taken Mr. Irrelevant at that point.
Yeah.
Which was the last pick of the draft. Mm-hmm. But I ended up signing with the Steelers, and at that time, I had in my life was shout out to my agent at the time, Tim Green, who you know too, who played at UT. And played with the Bengals. He was my agent, and I had Mel Green. Oh, Tim McGee.
Tim McGee and Mel Green, yep.
Mel. And one of the things that, shout out to him too, man. He's a solid dude. What happened was, at the time, I didn't have any idea how the free agency worked.
Right.
And Tim told me at the time, man, truth be told, I ain't even really know Pittsburgh had won the Super Bowl. Like, that's how locked in I was.
Yeah.
I don't remember watching it that year.
Yeah.
I do not remember watching the Super Bowl that year. But come to find out, he told me, I know they just won the Super Bowl, but Pittsburgh has always been a team that give people opportunity.
Right.
And looking at their roster, they got a couple guys year 1, year 2. You can go in. I think you'll make this team. Best advice he given me, because my other 2 teams that I was really serious about,
Yeah.
the Jets, who offered me actually more money.
Yeah.
So I'll break this down too real quick. So in this, let's just go for instance, the 7th round at the time. If you was drafting the 7th round, I think you made about like $52,000 as a signing bonus.
Mm-hmm.
After taxes, that's probably about like $23,000. Okay. So I wanted that bread.
Right.
So at the time, New York Jets offered me like $16,000.
Right.
But I also thought at the time too, taxes.
Yeah.
They're gonna tax the heck out of me. Plus, I was from the South,
Yeah.
being real.
Yeah.
And I was thinking to myself, man, New York's expensive, and it's too fast for me. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
The other team that I was considering, which they were on me super, super hard. The scout who was scouting me, was Cleveland.
Yeah.
And truth be told, it broke down to Cleveland and Pittsburgh.
Wow.
I'm gonna be honest with you. My agent gave me the advice of saying that Pittsburgh is a land opportunity, so I slanted that way. But the guy in Cleveland was acting he was courting me super hard, like, and I was like, well, Pittsburgh offered me $8,000.
Right.
I was in a priority free agent, which means I was like a draft pick to them, but I don't get draft pick money. $52,000 to $8,000 is what Pittsburgh offered me.
Yeah.
And I considered Cleveland, and what broke it down away from Cleveland was the guy who was recruiting me. They offered me like $2,500.
Really?
But when it was like that close to me, I was thinking of RJ and Keisha.
Yeah.
Making a way for them being able to pay bills.
Right.
I don't want to do the New York Jets.
Right.
Because it was too expensive, and I'm a kid from the South. You know?
Yeah, we ain't really rocking with the East Coast like that.
No, not right now.
Not right now.
I went to Pittsburgh after my signing bonus and paying my agent. I think I walked away with $4,600. Mind you, that had to last me all the way through the summer, which it didn't.
Right.
I think I might have had to borrow some cash from you or something, I think, to pay the rest of the rent.
Right.
Or Keisha was working and paid the rent at the time. So here I was in NFL broke as a rookie free agent, which, I mean, $8,000. Uncle Sam at the time was taking 38%, I think. Right. Cut half, pay my agent fees, Medicaid, all that type of stuff. I walked away with like $4,400 some dollars, somewhere up in there. So go back to Knoxville. So I get to Pittsburgh. We go through everything, meet the guys, and I'll just get into the career aspect of it.
Yeah, take us straight into it.
Go back to Knoxville to finish up training before training camp. Right. And here I am working out at the facility still and stuff like that. So it's around the time to report to camp. Truth be told, I had the same car that you and Nardo helped me get, the 2002 Pontiac Bonneville.
The
Bonnie, okay, blue. With tents.
Yeah, with the tents. Yeah.
With the tents. And
the Bonnie was rolling. The Bonnie was rolling.
Nah. Coach Ferguson talking about I could have went to Cleveland. No, could not have went to Cleveland. And I'll tell you this too about that journey, just in general. Yeah. Going to Cleveland would have been, I probably wouldn't have lasted in the league. Right. Because one, Cleveland has a lot of turnover. A lot of turnover come a lot of different coaches, and coaches want their guys. So going to Pittsburgh, to a place that had a bunch of stability, to where I wasn't a stable guy, meaning I wasn't a high draft pick, I fell under the umbrella of Coach Tomlin my entire career. Right. Which was probably one of the best business decisions I've ever made. Tough. Love the Steelers though, okay? Tough, yeah. But reality, like I said again, of your circumstances is what's gonna push you over the edge on being either going right or either going left. That's how I look at that. But Keisha can tell you just like I'll tell you this next story. So I pack up to go to. I thought we was having camp in Pittsburgh. Yeah. We had camp at this place, Latrobe, Pennsylvania, at St. Vincent College. And I never forget when I packed up the car to leave. I was leaving to go to Cincinnati first before I went to Pittsburgh. I didn't want to drive all the way to Pennsylvania the same day. And you can ask Keisha if you want to, but I told her, I said, I'll see you on the bye week. Yeah. I told her. Yeah. Not knowing it, I was gonna make the team.
Yeah.
But I had to be stupid enough, idiotic enough, crazy, insane enough to believe I was gonna make that team.
And driven.
And driven.
And driven. Mm-hmm.
And driven. I didn't know how I was gonna do it, but I knew if I had a chance, I was gonna do it. That's one thing I'll tell people.
Mm-hmm.
The road to success ain't what you see on game day.
No, come on, man. Come on, talk to us now. What you see now you talking to us. Come on, man. Come on, man. Talk to us now.
One of the things that I would say to you, whether you are playing basketball, football, trying to be a doctor, a dentist, an astronaut, whether you want to be a police chief, fire chief, a teacher, or whoever you want to be, to do those things, especially in the sports world, or let's say you want to go to an extended education like being a doctor, lawyer, surgeon, those type of things. You have to be, and I always say it, and people always think it, well, it might sound bad by saying it, but you have to be dumb enough to think that you're going to be the one to make it.
Yeah.
And you got to work that way to where if nobody else don't believe yourself, your immediate people, your immediate circle,
and you believe
then that's how you have to work. Because this day and age, there's going to be so many people that knock you because everybody has a voice coming towards you.
Right.
If you want to make it and be successful, you have to be driven and stupid enough to think it's actually going to happen to you.
Right.
And if it don't happen to you, I guarantee you lying yourself up onto something that's gonna work out even better for you.
Right.
That's how when I told Keisha I'll see you on the bye week, I was dumb enough to actually say that and believe it.
Yeah.
But I thought I was gonna work for it.
Yeah. Whatever you had to do to get there, you were gonna get there.
I was gonna do it.
If it was in it, now, people, I want you to know, it's a lot of times it comes down to situations where they come to you and they tell you, man, you know, it's a numbers game. We wasn't able to do this. We got to sign him, and we got to do this and do that. But to believe in it, like, and everything that's in your power and in control, you do. You can go home, like, it's gonna hurt, but you can rest easy knowing that, man, you did everything in your power that you could do. You know what I mean? Everything in your control.
And you know what's crazy about that numbers game thing that you said?
Talk to me.
I had to play the numbers game too.
Right.
When I got there, the guy that was wearing 73 had just retired, Kendall Simmons. And we had two rookies. One was a draft pick that played D-line, and it was me, the undrafted guy. Both of us had 73.
Wow.
And I'll never forget that year in camp to where I was starting to make strides. There was two things that happened to me when I knew I was kind of pushing towards like making the team.
Right.
One was we went to we had evening snack, and Coach T always works out in the evening time after practice. All the lights is out, and the snack is around like 8:30 to 9 after our late meetings. And I'm walking the steps up there because rookies can't ride the carts at night. Grabbing a snack, and I'm walking up the hill, and I think Coach T spots me. He walks out from his workout, and he was like, "Hey, Big Mo." He was like, by the way, I got out of that Ramon Foster little brother.
Yeah, you were. Yeah. Now you yourself. 10 toes cemented.
I'm Big Mo now, okay?
Yeah.
My friends call me Big Homie. So he walks out from doing his workout, and he says, he was like, "How you think you're doing?" It's like, I think I'm all right. He was like, I was like, I think it's pretty good. He's like, yeah. He's like, just keep it that way though. I was like, okay, all right.
Coming from the head man.
From the head coach at the time, and we had a little small conversation. Then he walked his way out. He finished go working out, and I went to snack and stuff like that. And the other thing that happened was I knew pressure was on a little bit. He kept chirping at me. He kept chirping at me. I got the first couple of days of camp after in pads, I got worked. No lie.
Yeah.
That defense was real.
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah. It was every bit of the steel curtain what you heard about and everything, huh?
Oh my God. That D line was good. Brett Kiesel, Casey Hampton, the linebackers, James Harrison was there, Ferry was there, Foot was there. Like that D line was insane. Aaron Smith, Travis Kursky, like them dudes were real and they was experienced. They worked me that first day. And Coach T put me up on the big board and he showed the clips of me getting worked. And he said, "Hey, I know you're a young guy, but don't take it."
Yeah.
No lie in front of everybody. The most embarrassing thing that could have happened to me that year. And he knew how to like click me.
Yeah. Yeah.
I got to get my draft stuff from him, but he said everything that they said about me in the draft, as far as my psychological makeup, was down to a T.
Really?
Everything they said about me was down to a T.
Wow.
So he said that every single day. Ramon, don't take it every single day.
Wow.
For practice, and I could have folded under them circumstances. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
I was like, you damn right, I ain't gonna take it no more.
Yeah.
Every day I went to work, man, against a lot of younger guys, but I held my own against. At the time, I was working like twos and some ones.
Mm-hmm.
I'll probably get the second set of the ones, which is 3 plays, and I got all the twos and the threes. Okay,
right.
So we had one-on-ones like later in camp, and the D-line coach at the time was running the one-on-ones pass rush.
Mm-hmm.
And it was 273s, like I said, on there.
Right.
And Coach Mitch told me, and the guy who was wearing 73 at the time was like, hey, look, I know y'all knew with this, but it's 273s. It's only one that can be on the roster.
Hey.
Y'all decide.
Hey.
The other 73 was actually my partner. We stayed together.
My partner, Neil.
Yeah.
Hey.
My partner, man, and we stayed together. But I put a line in the ground that said, "This is it."
Yeah, line in the sand. Draw a line in the sand. What's gonna do it? Yeah.
And from that moment on, I was like, I'm staying.
Yeah.
I wasn't finna be the 73 that got kicked off, and I kept that number for 11 years.
Hey man, that's big time right there, man. That is big time right there. So undrafted. Following in footsteps, wanting to make your own footsteps. Again, coming to the fork in the road.
Yeah.
Like you said early in high school, you chose to go right. You know what I mean? Well, you could have went left, or you could have. He tell you, hey, Big Mom, you need to keep it like that. Yeah. A lot of people walk up them steps like, man, this man always effing with me, man. Like, come on, dog, man. Like, hey, man, what you want me to do, man? You know what I mean? Man, coach up that building, yeah, man. You know what I mean? But instead, you said, you know what? You're right. I'm gonna keep it like that.
Yeah, and or just every day, no lie, every day he would say, don't take it. He walked past me, hey, Mom, don't take it.
Mm-hmm.
Like every single day. And I got to the point, I was like, you know what? I'm going to play the game then. I ain't going to take it. I'm going to show you. I'm going to do something every day to show you that I'm not going to take this. Impact. Like, find one thing a day in your avenue to say, I'm going to get better at this. And that's what I did.
Man, now let me tell you something, man. Going throughout my career, I've always wanted to, wherever I went to, leave my name, legacy, reputation, whatever it may be. But one thing for sure, when I left there, I always thought, especially as a pro, 10 to 15 to 20 years later, they'd always remember my name. Yeah. If I came up, I was never going to be the guy that it was like, oh, who you let me look you up real quick. Who you you know what I mean? Nah. Oh yeah, man. Somebody gonna come from somewhere and be like, man, that's such and such. Okay, boom. Yeah. You know what I mean? And I admire that, man, because that looks like that's the same moniker in a sense that you laid down. Going up there through Pittsburgh.
It was an everyday thing for me, man. And not only that, man, you surround yourself with good people. The same thing I did in Pittsburgh, man. My one of the coolest things that happened was having Marquise come in the second year.
Right. Talk about that. Talk about that relationship. Somebody to lean on. That's going through that same struggle, even though it's a different path. But y'all were aces.
Yeah, that was my dog. It's like my brother. And it's funny when I say, man, it's like my brother. He was like, nah, you are my brother.
Yeah.
Like, it's funny because I wasn't like against Marquise coming in because he didn't play my position, but I was like, man, he played for Florida.
Right. It's already a little tension there anyway. You know what I mean? Like, hold on, dog. Hold on.
But it's funny. There was a lot of things I knew we had a bunch of similarities and stuff like that. One, he helped me better my career when you know somebody's good too. And this is one thing I tell people too: never be afraid of competition or thinking somebody's gonna outdo you or come for your position. Because if you're solid enough, mentally, physically, and the emotional aspect of what's in front of you, then you're gonna be good. I never forget getting close to Marquise. By the time we had started OTAs and stuff like that, he had already attached to me. I attached to him. I think he had the twin thing going on, and we were a lot like. I'm light skinned, he light skinned. Probably had the same haircuts at the time. I'm from the South, he from the South. SEC. We play O-line, so we really.
And deep down, both of y'all got genuine spots where the feelings and the love come from.
Yeah, so we attached early on, man, and in a lot of different ways was really, really, really dope about how we developed as brothers. Like, he's a family member to me, man, in a lot of different ways. But I'll never forget when he came in and he helped transition our whole O-line with. We became a tandem almost.
Right.
At the time, we had a Coach Kugler, that came in and he said this when Marquise went out there. No, like Marquise is a heck of an athlete, okay? Right. Heck of an athlete. He went first round for a reason.
Without doubt.
But we went in there and we was watching film all the time in the league, okay? You know, like film is always like the blue light up, you're like.
Yeah. The talent's there. The talent's there, but the mind, the mental part of it is what carries you through.
Yeah, so it's funny with him was Coach Kugler was like, man, you guys are doing good. We're going to be a solid unit, okay? He said, but the thing is, you guys are working right here, and I love it. He's like, I absolutely love it.
Yeah.
Like, but Marquise, he's working like up here.
Hey.
And y'all need to decide on what we going to be. Y'all can work right here and be good.
Because y'all look good right there.
Good. I think some older guys in the room kind of got offended. Me being a young buck, I'm like, let's go. Okay?
Yeah.
Let's go. Whatever I got to do, however I got to do to get to that level, I'm going to show you and you're going to see me, okay? And so I didn't feel offended by it. I felt challenged to actually get to that level. Right. I felt challenged to actually have my name called in that level. I need to be on film showing somebody that I'm attempting to be at that level.
Yeah.
Because this survival of me being in this league is cutthroat. 100%. You can be here 1 year and gone the next, and next thing you know, your number's gone to another person, just like that. So that wasn't my plan.
Right.
So, truth be told, I attached to him. He attached to me. I saw how he worked. We became workout partners. We became a thing to where I was like, I'm holding my own of this too, though.
Right.
You're gonna see I'm doing my own. I'm not offended by what the coach said. It don't hurt my feelings. I'm in this thing.
Yeah.
That's what we all need to be. We're going to go there. And slowly, the O-line changed. They ended up drafting other guys, and we became who we were in the end of this product before I ended up retiring. Is that aspect of moving into year 2, into year 3. Year 2, we went to the Super Bowl that year.
Right.
But what's funny about that year, I ended up starting, I think, 14 or 15 regular season games, but I didn't start that year as a starter.
Right.
I've always in my life kind of had a little bit of adversity where stuff don't just come directly for me. We've always met somebody that they can just shoot a ball and they're going to make it.
Yeah.
They can do a 360 like it's nothing. They can make a toe tapping touchdown like it's nothing. Soccer ball, they kick it from 50 yards out, they're going to make it. It wasn't the thing for me, and I learned that early on. Like, I got to work a little bit harder to get what I want out of stuff.
Yeah.
I knew, like, I couldn't just show up. Like, my mental game had to be way better than the person I was going against.
That's key.
My endurance had to be a whole lot better than what the other persons were. And I had to stand out in some aspect. Right. So I know what I did good, and I worked with that. Me not starting my second year, I took it as a slight. I'll be real. I had to practice the opening week when I found out I wasn't going to play. I wasn't going to start. And I was an a-hole. I ain't going to lie. I was doing like little stuff. I was running. I was running after the play, hitting guys. Still, this is during the season, which is like a bar thing. Right. But you will see me flash on the screen every single time. Yeah. Something happened. I went in the game, the second game, and I finished it out. I did so well, and they saw the way Marquise and I worked so well together. I was a starter the rest of the year.
There it is. Just like that.
And I could have caved. It was easy to cave.
Yeah.
I wanted to play.
Yeah. I like that. I
wanted to play. And the same thing happened my third year. They actually drafted a guy, and I was a starting right guard. They moved a guy to left, and the guy they drafted in the first was actually a right guard. I see the lighting on the window. Okay. he really supposed to be in this spot.
Right.
But who's opening it up?
This is what they brought him here for.
That's what they brought him. He's not going to be a first round right guard and move to left guard, but they had a high paid left guard.
Right.
So who's stuck in the middle? This guy.
Yeah.
This guy, okay?
Yeah.
So God works in mysterious ways, man. Funny was I was starting. The left guard had a high ankle sprain. I moved to left, of course.
Mm-hmm.
They moved the first rounder up to right guard. The starting left guard at the time comes back. I get pushed out.
Yeah.
No longer starting no more.
What year is this? Mo?
Going into my fourth, I think.
Okay.
Going into my fourth. The starting left guard comes back. The first round right guard is at right. I'm out of the fold.
Mm-hmm.
I thought I had played fine.
Right.
Going into the dressing room, like I said, God works in mysterious ways. The right guard at the time, partially tore his ACL.
Mm-hmm.
Guess who's back in? Me.
So I'm trading
back in for right guard. Playing well there. Still in the back of my mind, I know if he comes back, it's probably going to hit his position. Get it? He comes back. What's crazy, the week that he's about to come back, the left guard actually got hurt, went to IR.
Yeah. And
I had been at left guard the entire time.
Right.
Could have caved, probably should have, considering those odds. But my goal was to stay. My goal was to make a thing out of this. I wanted a career in this league, however it came. And when I got it, I wasn't going to let it go. They've drafted people like higher round guys at my position for years to come. And guess what I did?
Mm-hmm.
I welcomed them in.
Yeah.
I welcomed them in. Probably selfishly.
Yeah.
Because if I knew what they was doing, I can compete with it.
Your grind going to continue.
Like, to me, I always tell people, your biggest competition is number one, yourself.
Right.
Once you learn the competition of the offense versus defense, or yourself versus a test, and you work on that. After that, study that.
Yeah.
Find out exactly what your peers are doing so that you can keep them off you. And that's what I did.
That's your log to throw on the fire.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let me put this little log. Welcome on in. Here, put this log on the fire because this one burning. This fire right here, something trade fire burning.
It's burning.
Yeah.
And not only that, but if a person was good enough to take my position, more power to you.
Yeah.
I have no qualms about that. Like, do your thing. That's okay with me too. I was okay with that.
So I love the journey you've taken us on. You know what I mean? I love the journey. So I got 3 things I want to touch on before we get out of here. You see the up and down, people listening. You see the up and down, the roller coaster effect of going through it. You know what I mean? You go from Mr. Football to you're on UT. You sit out the first year. You go into it. You work your butt off. You know what I mean? You get the award. You know what I mean, for most improved. Might have been the Al Wilson Award. Might not have been, but you get the most improved award back-to-back years. You know what I mean? That doesn't happen because you got to remember it's a new crop coming in.
Most improved.
Yeah, it's a new crop coming in every single time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you're on that roller coaster. You finally get to the league. You're not drafted where you are. You remember breaking down, holding June. You know what I mean? That's my nephew, RJ, crying like, damn, I let y'all down. But then, boom, right back. 13 calls coming through. Boom, 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 boom. You know what I mean? You coming through. You get to Pittsburgh. You get there. You grinding it out. You know what I mean? You know, mix your match with Pouncey. Y'all can team up, get to it. Take me through this right here. A down period. And you lose your mom.
Yeah.
You lose your mom.
That was a hard moment, man. To be truthful with you, I didn't really process it all that great, I don't think, at the time. This was summer of 2014. She actually passed away on my little sister's birthday.
Right.
But one of the things I always did, we always get caught up in life.
Right.
One of the things I always said was, I'll have time. I'll get time. I'm focusing on this right now. I'll have time. I'll get time. I'm going to make time for that. I'm going to do this. And it's so funny. And the guy, if he's in the comments, the realtor and Ripley, it was Langford Realty, I think. Who did I talk to? Coach Whiteside. I had to talk to Randy Langford about it. At the time, one of the things I wanted to do was buy my mom a house.
Right.
Keisha and I had that conversation. I had just got a contract, I think. and we was just getting into some more money. You know what I'm saying? And
Right.
I was planning to buy her home. We had initiated the talk of me buying her a home.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll never forget, laid down to sleep. We're at our old house, and I get that call from, well, Keisha wakes me up. She's like, Mom.
Yeah.
Middle of the morning. I'm like, oh, what?
Yeah.
And she had told me, like, Mom had passed. She was about to. And that was one of the wildest things that ever happened to me.
Mm-hmm.
It opened my mind to a lot of different things. I was resentful. I hated it. I didn't understand it. I always said, how come I didn't get the time? And there's so many people that do get their times with their moms.
Right.
There was nothing around it that I could really cope with. Keisha supported me big time.
Mm-hmm.
What my teammates did.
Right.
Coach Tomlin, he was really, really pivotal in that side of it too. But that's one thing I'll tell you about your loved ones. Don't say I'll have time. I'll find time to do it. No, do it.
Mm-hmm.
Like I always tell people around Mother's Day for sure. Call your mom, or just all the time. Call your mom.
Right.
Talk to your mom. Like I know a lot of time, like people be like, they don't talk to their moms or this or that. I'd be like, that's like the stupidest thing ever to me. I've grown to learn that a lot of stuff happens for a reason. I say that in a lot of different ways. There's a lot of stuff that my mom filtered me from, for sure. I've always kind of been protected, I guess you can say in a sense. But she took a lot of the heat from away from me for stuff that people who were asking for, they went through her for. It was the pressure of you should be doing this, or you should have that, or why don't you have your son's in the NFL? I'll say one thing to a lot of people, like the money you see people make, unless they're making it for a long time, like so let's say if a person gets $1 million, that $1 million automatically is cut down to taxes right now 39.6. No, it's 37 now. At the time it was 39.6. So $390,000 go away. Then you got to pay Medicaid. Then you got to pay state that you're playing in. Then, luckily for me, I didn't have Tennessee state income tax. So $1 million is turned into basically $4. The $600,000 gone quick. And we got to talk about our day-to-day living. We got to talk about a budget of paying for a house note, car note, child's daycare. Not only that, you say, yeah, the $400,000 still is a lot of money. Yes, it is. But you got to think about when we get paid too. We get paid from September to December.
Right.
Any more checks after that. So the money you get got to last you for those times. More money you make, honestly, the higher your bills are also. For most of them, because you have access to different things.
Exactly.
But not only that, when a person asks you for bread, it's not just you, that person that's probably asking for bread, it's somebody else.
And guess what? See, that was my next question.
And then Nardo said you got to pay your agent.
You got to pay your agent. Yeah. You got to please don't forget that. Please. Yeah. That's all come in. My next question was, how do you say no?
If you're not the type to start off saying no, it's going to be a long, drawn-out process of saying no. And if you like me with an open heart, I love to see people have a good time. I'll be honest with you. I do. I love to see people smile. I love to make people laugh and have a good time. If you're around me and we're together and your family and I trust and I love you, like, we're going to have a good time. As we always joke around and just say stuff like, just be there. Just be there.
All you got to do is be there. You're going to be took care of.
If it's genuine, though.
If it's genuine.
And I can see if it's not. I read people sometimes, and about 98% of the time I'm correct. But saying no is one of those things that if you don't do it early, it's going to be it's going to be a long, drawn-out situation for you. It's going to be a bunch of turmoil. It's going to be a bunch of bad things said about you. I had some family members say some stuff to me sometimes. I was just like, wow. But not only that, you forgot what I did like maybe a month ago. And if it wasn't for you, it was for your mom, my auntie, or somebody directly. And learning to say no is one of those things where if I don't want to, I'll probably just shut it out.
Right. Now let me tell you this. Or let me ask you this. I remember us sitting in the parking lot late night out in I don't know where we were staying at that time, but late night. We probably IHOP night. You know what I mean? Me and my boy Knoxville late night. You know what I mean? Coming from the club, and we just sat in the car and talked one time. But I remember, this doesn't just happen to Ramon Foster, the 11-year pro. This could happen to the 2-year overseas pro Joe Blow or
the 1 year guy.
Yeah, or exactly, or a guy that potentially could make money. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like it happens all the time, man. And like Ramon just said, man, the quicker you are to set that boundary, the easier it is for you. Like you want to hurt, you want to help everybody.
Yeah.
But everybody can't be helped, man. Like, and you got to realize what you're doing and what they should have been doing should have been out of genuine love for you.
Yep. And that's the other side of it too. If I give you something or you ask me for something, I just show you love out of the kindness of my heart, and I tell you no one time. Mm-hmm. Why does it? Don't make it hateful. And if it is hateful for the people that have to come into those situations, then it probably wasn't real to begin with.
Right.
So I've learned that it's family members I have talked to, I haven't. I'm kind of distant because sometimes I'm gonna be real. Like I said, my mom was the buffer between a lot of that stuff. Mm-hmm. And one of the things that I'll be honest with you, because we're in the boomer room, we're honest about stuff, is I long for just the genuineness of it.
Right.
And I could be reading it wrong. Maybe I'm the one that's messed up in it. But when you've seen what I've seen, or you've gotten the backlash that I've gotten, or dealing with saying no, or just not bothering to go through with it, it gets kind of hurtful. It gets kind of real fast in your face.
Yeah.
But as I said, if that's how they feel about something, the fact that you say no this 1 or 2 times, then it probably wasn't genuine to begin with.
I want to let the viewers know, man, this is not just him. Like, I was sharing this information when he was in college before he even took off.
He did.
Any kind of career, like, hey man, listen. You know what I mean? And we still share talks from today. Yeah. Like it's amazing the things you see, man, from the people that you thought cared about you, or you thought you cared about, whatever it may be. The love is always there. But as far as the actions that are taken by people that you call loved ones or whatever it may be, it hurts, man. I'm gonna be real, man. And you don't want to see it, and you want to lash out, but at every single turn, you got to be the bigger person. You know what I mean? Yeah. So that makes it even harder because he's a human. I'm a human. Like, we have feelings also. So, you know what I mean? Like, you want to lash out, but at the same time, you got to be the bigger person, man. Because in a sense, if I lose it on you, I lose it for everybody over here that was counting on me, that I do love. You feel what I'm saying? So it's difficult, man. It's difficult.
I'll just cap it on that one by saying I absolutely love my family. Right. My West Tennessee family, 100%.
And friends too.
And friends too. Yeah. I absolutely, but especially like my family. Like if we was raised up in the projects together, we kicked it at my mama's house, whether it was in Ripley or when she stayed down from the high school at Covington High, or you came out to the country at 842 Barrymore. I freaking love y'all. And I tell my wife all the time, I long for that connection, because that kind of gets separated a little bit when you're dealing with the money aspect of being, besides Nardo, one of the ones that actually, just are comfortable. That's a hard pill to swallow. But it's one of those things that, now that I'm in retirement, I look forward to try to like get that right. But like I said, in an organic type of way though.
Right. It's got to come naturally, man. Like it's no way that this can be forced to anything, because you got to think, man, this is the work that has been put in, man. And nobody did this work. And I'm going to be the first to tell you, dog, didn't nobody do this work but you. And your family. When I say your family, I mean the people that you woke up with, you went to sleep with, that you had to turn the alarm off for them to get outside the house. Them people. You feel what I'm saying? So y'all hearing it from me. And I'm telling everybody that's going to come into some money as an athlete or anything, man, think about that, man. You have your own family. Now, what you can do outside of that is the bonus. But that comes organically, man. Yeah. And that don't mean latch on or any of that. But, man, I'm telling you, man, be careful what you do, man. Because karma's something else now.
Or you'll just straight up see it. People like you'll recognize it when it's
you're gonna see it. You're gonna see it. And it's gonna shock you.
And one of the things I'll tell you too, whether a person's been organic or not, just toss the rope.
Right. And
either they gonna climb up to you or what, Ron?
They're gonna put it around their own neck and they're gonna kick their own tail away. You know what I mean?
Right. If it's organic, you're gonna climb up and we gonna be cool.
And guess what, y'all? I'm gonna be honest, y'all. So I'm just gonna put this out there before I get to my last point. You got to have one in the family. I don't give a damn if it's a close one. It's a brother that the bond came later. You got to have one that's willing to say no, and it's gonna be the crazy one. And guess who it is? Hello, it's me. It's me, Ron Slade. You know what I mean? Y'all take that to the bank. You know what I mean? So if y'all can't get in touch with Moan, get in touch with me, and I got an answer for you. I promise you that. His heart, the good as gold, man. Mine grown sour over the years, and I'm cool with it. You hear what I'm saying? My last one, man. My last one, and we're going to get on out here because we know people want to go watch The Last Dance. We appreciate y'all being in here in the Boom Boom Room.
Thank y'all.
Man, most definitely, man. Hopefully y'all got some out of this, got some gems out of it. My last one is, what is the importance of reaching back and being seen? You know what I'm saying? So, for instance, for example, mine was growing up at TSU, being able to see Anthony Mason, Carlos Rogers, reach out. And when I was at college, my freshman year, being able to go on the road to Chicago to hang with Ron Mercer, Dante Jones showing love in the city. You know what I mean? That helped me, Corey Allen. Like, the list goes on and on. But the importance of being able to reach out and touch a guy that has been successful. You know what I mean? What pressure do you feel you put on yourself to be visible in the community and able for these young kids, these 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, these kids getting ready to go into high school to be like, man, you know what, man? He did it, man. I see him every day. I can do it.
Yeah. It's huge, man, because like I said, going back to earlier, like being able to chase somebody. Mm-hmm. That's one of the biggest things that I think that we, especially as the athletic side of it, or if you have somebody in your family who's a doctor or lawyer, or honestly, they run a factory plant, like just all across the board. That knows a success. And I'll say this before I get to that. I've always been a believer that what's for you is gonna come to you.
Come on, man. For the people in the back, man. For the people in the back. For the people in the back. Say it for them.
And there is no reason to force anything. There is no, like, you got to work hard and grind for it. But what's for you is for you. And I've accepted that over the years. Like, my means for being where I am now wasn't the easiest road, but I'm okay with that because that was for me.
Right.
I was built for that path, that journey. Whether it's somebody in their marriage or somebody in their everyday lives, their relationship with their kids, or just across the board, whether it's your finance guy, whether it's your landlord. Like, what's for you is for you. Whatever situation you're in and you can control it, you be about that. But leading back to reaching back is because I reached towards some people. I reached towards you,
right,
and Nardo, and just being told, just being a guy like my granddad or my Uncle Maurice, or just having people in your lives that were influential. Even just some of the high school stars like John Poe or Antonio Gaines, just seeing those guys that went to UT, and I was like, man, that's what I want to do. So one of the things I definitely want to do, and with this COVID-19 stuff going on, is I want to be able to go to West 10. Right. Somebody told me that, the jersey that I got up at LMS, the middle school, they think it's a white guy. They don't know what I look like. Somebody told me, I'm like, yeah, right, you're lying. It's like, man, you got to put your picture, somebody's got to put your picture in the frame because they think you're a white guy. Whether whoever it is, but I want my recognition. I will say that.
Right. Yeah, that's must.
I worked for that, okay?
Right.
But I want to be able to go back to West 10. Like I said, go to a Ripley High game or Covington game or that world famous, to me, Ripley versus Haywood rivalry.
Man, we need to be there. We need to be there. We're going this year. I can't wait.
Soon as this lifts up, man, I promise you I'm gonna be there because I wanna be seen in a way that, man, I'm from where you from. I've gone through similar situations. Being from those small towns or being away from those small towns is you can make it out.
Yeah.
And truth being told, when I said what I said earlier, what's for you is for you. Like if moving out of your city ain't for you, that's okay too.
Right. Right.
But one of the things I always try to do is be productive or inspire somebody or be better than where you were when you left high school or when you come back influence somebody. Man, so many people that I looked up to or just helped me out, like my teachers, man. One of the biggest things one of my teachers ever told me, Miss Webb, was I was getting ahead of myself a little bit, thinking I was that guy. And she said, you can do all the things you want to on that football field. But if you don't pass this trigonometry the way you should, you're not going anywhere. You know, and that's one of the things like that still inspires me to this day to be better or to grow more than where you are.
Right.
Like if you can fight through the smallest things that come towards you, I promise you my road wasn't easy.
Yeah.
And Ron, yours wasn't easy. I know that for sure. Nardo, the guys I look up to, like I admire the transition that you, Nardo, my brother-in-law Josh, who guys who were athletes that were able to transition into the real world. And to be honest with you, I'm looking forward to that.
Right.
Because I know there's more to life than just what I did at the football. Like I'm exhausted. If somebody asked me, you want to go back? Heck no. What's wrong with that? Like,
I did
that.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to this next chapter, man. Whether it's a corporate job, whether it's doing something with kids, whether I'm on TV or whatever the case may be, I want to be better than I was at NFL and the next thing that I do. You know, like that's one of my things, man. I'll tell people this: it's not easy, but if you push through and whatever, if you don't get exactly what you want, I promise you're gonna fall into something that you love.
Guaranteed.
Yep.
Hey man, so before we get out of here, man, I just want to say, man, I appreciate you coming on to the Boom Boom Room. We try to touch some topics, man. You know, I know a lot of y'all getting ready for the Last Dance. We was a little late, but we was here.
We here.
We was definitely here. So, you know what I mean? I appreciate you coming on, man, and nothing satisfies me more, man, than to know that, you know, you went through your journey the way you did, man. You kept a humble heart and a humble head, and you looked out for anybody that came across your path, man. Whether you got burnt or you didn't, you know what I mean. You did it out of the kindness of your heart, man, and that means a lot, man. Because I know I can speak for me, Arnaldo, man. Like we did it genuinely, and I know he did it longer than I did. You know what I mean. But when we finally did link up, it was what it was, man, and it's never changed. It didn't do nothing but grow stronger. And man, that's heavy, man. I appreciate you touching on your mom. Why? Rest in peace to why. You know what I mean? Like that's some heavy stuff, man. And I know somebody needs that. You know what I mean? One of these kids need that. You know what I mean? That's going through that same journey that may come across that same path. So that's it, man. And guess what, Lauderdale? I'm bringing them back. You know what I mean? We coming to a game. So when y'all see us at the game, and we been out there hype, just be like, yeah, I mean, that's them boys.
Absolutely. We're going to have a ball, man. And once again, Mother's Day coming up. Call your moms, man, before Mother's Day. Send her something. I know we're social distancing. Send her flowers, edible ranges, whatever you got to do. Send her a cooked meal. FaceTime.
Anything.
Enjoy your people. Love your people. And be better every day, man.
Real talk, man. Y'all got it from him, man. That's Ramon Foster, man. We appreciate you coming through. Let's get to the Last Dance, folks. You know what I mean? My boy.
I got my J's on right now.
Hey, I appreciate you. I love you, dog.
Love you too, man.
Go on, man.
All right.
All right, people. Now, what you had there. Oh, there we go. So that was Ramon Foster, man. We appreciate him coming through. That was all love, man. You know, that's what the Boom Boom Room is about, man. Reaching a platform where you can tell your story, whether it be good, whether it be bad. We can try to reach into some dark places just to let you know it's not like this the whole way. You know what I mean? You got valleys and you got pits that you're gonna come into, but how you come out of it on the other side, man, is what it's about. You know what I mean? And so salute to him about that, and I love him for it. You know what I'm saying? But you got next week. We got Shamika Holtzclaw coming up, so that ought to be an interesting story. I know she's gonna reach down into it and give the people what they want. You know what I mean? So Shamika Holtzclaw will be on after that. Then we got Brian Collins, Penny Collins, and we got Randolph Childress. That's gonna wrap up the series of the Boom Boom Room with Ron Slay. We're gonna get the shirts out so when the radio when they come back, you can hear it. You know what I mean? You can feel it. You know, and be prepared, people, for when the Boom Boom Room presents a sleigh ride. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. You gotta be ready. You gotta be ready for a sleigh ride. Sleigh ride coming through. It's coming through real soon, man. Y'all be ready. The book, I'm doing the audio book of it right now. So be ready. By the time this coronavirus lift, coming into the fall, you'll have a sleigh ride. I appreciate you, everybody listening. You know what I mean? And y'all pay attention next week. Love you. Miss Bob, what you doing? Keys. Gotta watch next week, Keys. Gotta watch next week. We got Shamika Holtzclaw coming on. She battled with depression. She was the female Michael Jordan. You know what I mean? One of the coldest. She was the Cheryl Miller of our time. If that means anything to you. So do your homework. Check out who that is. You know what I mean? And we're going to bring it back and be ready. You know what I mean? The Boom Boom Room shall be back. People, I appreciate y'all. All love. It's the Boom Boom Room. I'm Ron Slay. We out here.